Okay, everybody, how y'all doing? I am fine, just fabulous. Everybody, man, how you like my backdrop? So the only backdrop I can use because I'm using the OBS. I love this software. I absolutely love the software. I'm actually using it a little bit more than my Elgato software. But anyway, this is not about what kind of software that I'm using to record these videos. Um I changed the name of my podcast. It's called What Fuck What's Talk About? What's it talking about? Whatever. Because when I do these sit down vlogs, I got the mic in my hand, or even if where's my camera at? Here it is. Or if I'm streaming, not streaming, but if I'm recording myself on this camera, this M50, you like it? It's my camera rig. Anyway, um, I tend to, what's the word I'm looking for? I tend to ramble a lot when I'm trying to explain something to people. I I just do it without even like either I don't realize that I'm rambling or I don't know. So yeah, I designed my cover art for my podcast. It actually took me probably let's say 20-30 minutes in designing my. It took a while. I have no clue. See, I'm rambling just now. It took a while for me to you know, design it because I don't use Photoshop anymore and I miss it. I've been using Photoshop for the good 5 or 6 years, but then Adobe placed a monthly paywall. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm not using no no Adobe products for me. That's all. Because throughout the suite, I'm rambling again. Can you tell? Throughout all of the products of the Adobe suite, I use Photoshop the most. Now I use GIMP, and that was like even it's free. It's a good thing. It's free, but I'm trying to relearn everything that I've missed since I think I picked up GIMP the first time. It was like 2010 or 11. I'm not sure. Then I kind of changed over to Photoshop. Yeah, I remember. I've been using that app since then. Now I'm back to GIMP. Anyway, it took 30 minutes for me to design the cover art for my podcast. I had a sometimes when you do things like this, if you're a content creator, even if you're a YouTuber or a podcaster, I do both. Sometimes names find you. You don't think of the name. You says or you base the name of what your style is. My style is randomness, commentary that I ramble a lot. Sometimes I get on task, stay on task, or then I, deviate into ramblings. So the name kind of fits. Before I had the idea of having a professional name, sort of, I called it the XP Podcast, and it was shortened for Expendable Potential, and that didn't make sense to me. In my mind, it was clever. It's just how I spelled expendable. I cut out the E and the X, and I just left out the X, and it was basically expendable information, but the information I gave you were or it had potential. I was like, oh, that's very creative how I worded that. But then it sort of sounded very formal, the XP podcast or whatever. I wanted something that was a little bit more casual. What's he talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's the name of my show. So I'm still going to talk about video games, pop culture, and stuff, but I'm just going to be myself. I'm not. I'm not really an articulate person when it comes to commentary. I'm not like a professional public speaker, because I have anxiety. Sometimes I say and hump. What's the word I'm looking for? I say and sets and sets and stuff like that, and it really be like, what are you talking about? You saying ohms a lot and all that shit. Anyway, but
Bitch.
but it's just how I talk, man. I don't know what the fuck. So I hope this title kind of fit of how I talk, how I give out information. I'm just here to have fun, and I'm not trying to be professional because that's not who I am. I'm a nigga that like to talk shit. I'm not I am politically correct at some things though, but not everything. I'm not a social justice warrior on everything, but some things. I'm just me. I'm Dray Jaymes. So I'm on podcast. I have a podcast, and it's on Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. All right, so if any of those platforms you feel comfortable in listening to podcasts, I'm on. All you gotta do is find me and hit the follow button, subscribe button, rate, share, review. I talk about gaming and pop culture. Sometimes my co-host Reggie, he be on the podcast too, and he loves to talk. I'll swear. Sometimes, most of the time, I'll be like, "Fuck it, shit. Go ahead and rant. I'll be your audience." But really, it's gonna be solo podcasts like you. Well, it's gonna be solo shows of me, and I just if the right time come across, then that's when I will include Reggie. If you're a fan of my podcast, you know who he is and what he sound like. That's my co-host, off and on. But yeah, it's a little reminder, or not really a reminder, but breaking news from Dray Jaymes. Changed the name, changed the profile pic. Well, my my podcast cover art. It's gonna be jumping. I swear, it's gonna be jumping.
Fuck off.
Anyway, peace.